Hey everybody, I'm just going to be designing an archetype hopefully for deck and Master Duel, starting with the bundles. I guess I'll start with the Ash because the Ash is where it's at, right? Okay, here we go. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spirits. So it's got 10 packs of the random Master Duel, but then also most importantly you get the Ash Blossom. So I guess here we go. Let's hope for some good luck. Looks like we got some super rares. Neutron Blast. Target one fusion, summon Blue Eyes White Ultimate Dragon. You control this turn, and you make a second turn and third attack during each phase. In this battle attack, your opponent cards in fact can be activated until end of battle phase. Okay, doesn't affect me. I don't have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Evo Branch. Target one face-up reptile monster that you control. Destroy and special summon one volatile monster in face-down defense position from your deck. Okay, very random cards so far. Springans Booty. If a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by card effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. Neither player can activate that effect's monster's effects until the end of this turn. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Activate one Great Sand Sea Gold Gilgonda directly from your deck or graveyard. You can only use the effect once per turn. Okay, that's actually somewhat helpful because it's more universal. Puppet Parade. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon Gimmick Party monsters with different name from your deck up to the difference. Then if your opponent's LP are at least 2,000 or higher than yours, you can set one rank up magic normal spell directly from your hand. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except Gimmick Puppets monsters. You can only activate this once per turn. Okay. Gimmick Puppet. I have never heard that archetype. That card looks very interesting. A Dragon Synchro, one tuner and one non-tuner. When this card is special summoned, you can target one card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon it. Also, this card can not attack for the rest of this turn. You can only use the effect of Odd Eyes Meteor Blast Dragon once per turn. Monsters in your opponent's possession cannot activate battle effects during the turn. Okay, I don't know what set this is from, but it's one of those Odd Eyes or Blue Eyes White Dragon variations. Awakening of the Sacred Beasts. So infinite spell card. This card gains these effects based on the number of Uria, Lord of Searing Flames, Hammond, Lord of Striking Thunder, and or Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, with different names that you control. Each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, gain LP equal to the attack of that monster. 2. What is this? Striking. Okay. Negate the activated effect of the monster you control. Or 3. Any monsters you send to the graveyard or banish instead once per turn. If you control level 10 monster, you can add one continuous trap from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. Oh, it's an FA mechanical spell card. I think this is field. Yeah, field. Alright, increases the level of all FA monsters on the field by 2 during the main phase only. Levels. You can only activate the appalling effects of FA once per turn. When a FA monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can discard one random card from your opponent's hand. If this card is a card in the field destroyed by card effect, you can add one FA from your deck to your hand except the Grand Prix field spell. And for the rare, let's see. Evil Tile Lago Sucho. When this card normal summon, you can send one evil sword from your deck to the graveyard. When this card flipped up, you can special summon one Evil Tile from your deck. Okay, this is the first I see of Evil Tile. Interesting. This one looks like a super. Maybe. It looks like it is a super over here. Looking forward to this. Celestia. Field spell. All worm monsters gain 300 attack and defense once per turn. You can banish 3 worm monsters from your graveyard, then target one card on the field, destroy. That is really good. Because I use 10E decks in real life, so I think this is a really good card if I had this in real life. So, Twilight Twin Dragons. If you control... Why is it sparkling like that? Is it holographic? Why is it holographic? It's a normal card. I'm so confused as to why this card is holographic. Target one Judgment Dragon in your graveyard out of your hand, then send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by a Lightsworn monster effect, you can target one Punishment Dragon in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then banish the top 4 cards of your deck. Another sparkly card. I don't know why that is happening, and the name sparkly too. When this card declares an attack, it's 4-star, you can add one Edge Imp chain from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add one Fright Fur card from your deck to your hand. You can only use once per turn. Chain, perfect. Okay, and only once that turn. That's oddly specific. Again, okay, here we are. I don't get what this. Why is there a rare in the same pack? Okay. Activate only if you control a face-up Naturia. I actually have Naturias in real life. Interesting. Your opponent cannot activate trap cards this turn. Okay, that's not terribly useful. 2 Rocket Monsters. Link. It's a Link 2. 800 attack. If you control a Boral monster while this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 Link 3 or lower monster. Special summon this card, but it cannot be used as material for link summoning a monster with the same rating as a tribute monster. You can only use effect once per turn. What is the... I'm not so knowledgeable on links anyways. And at least it looks cool. Test Tiger. If you control a face-up gladiator or beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute this card to target 1 face-up gladiator or beast monster you control. Shuffle that target into the deck, then special summon 1 gladiator beast from your deck and treat it as if it was special summoned by the effective gladiator beast monster. Okay. A lot of new archetypes I haven't heard of. The Queen's Knight. It's again the shiny texture. It's a normal monster. So this must be an older card, I think. This knight catches her opponent off guard, dominating them with swift yet graceful attacks. And for the rare, super rare I should say, please be something useful. Oh, it's a junk. If only I got the junk deck. Well, I'll probably get one by the main story anyways. You can discard this card and add 1 tuner and add 1 synchro monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target 1 tuner in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, but it cannot activate the effects of this turn. You can only use this once per turn. Okay. And 1 tuner. I'd say that's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I still have this 1 key here. Let's see. Another super? Oh, it's a Utopia. What's going on? What's going on here? The super's in a different slot this time. How odd. A rare right off the bat. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This card looks oddly familiar. Special summon 1 Speedroid tuner from your hand or graveyard. Is this another Junk Synchron deck card? Except Speedroid Dendine Duke. God, this name is so funny. You can only use the effect once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 tuner from your hand or graveyard. That's pretty neat. Is this like an all rare deck? Wow, that's cool. Humid Winds. You can pay 1,000 LP. Add 1 aroma monster from your deck to your hand. If your LP is lower than your opponent's, you can gain 500 LP continuous. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can pay 1,000. Add an aroma. This is a really good card for aromas. Too bad I don't have any. But jeez. All right. Another rare. Fearful Treason. I actually have this card in real life, I think. Target 1 fabled monsters in your graveyard. And 1 face-up card on the field. Discard 1 card. And if you do, special summon that monster from your graveyard. And if you do that, destroy that card on the field. You can only activate once per turn. This card is very complicated. For some reason. 1 fabled monster in your graveyard and 1 face-up on the field. Discard 1 card. And if you do, special summon that. Which monster is that? I guess the one you discarded. What? No, from your graveyard. Oh, this one. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Another rare 4-star monster. Each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. When that spell resolves, this card's level is increased by the number of spell counters on it. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card. Then target one quick play spell in your graveyard. Set that card to your spell and magic zone, trap zone. You can only activate once per turn. That is pretty good. That's actually really cool. And no, not an all rare pack. We got it. Why the heck is this a level 11? Jesus. While you control a level 10 or lower Flower Guardian monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot normal special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Flower Guardian monsters. Once per turn, you can target one Flower Guardian from your graveyard and shuffle into your deck, then draw one card. Okay. Flower Guardian, new archetype I haven't heard of. Triggered summon. Activate only when a monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Each player can special summon one level 4 monster from their hand. Is this per turn, or is this when does it get discarded? Oh no, I think it's only for your side. That's really good. And it works with all archetypes. I might try this in my deck soon. Koaki Miru Gulangalatse. During each of your end phases, destroy this card unless you send one Iron Core of Koaki Miru from your hand to the graveyard, or reveal one zombie type monster in your hand. If a Koaki Miru monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove from play one Koaki Miru monster in your graveyard instead. What does that mean by remove? As in banishing or something? But the attack is really good for being a 1 tribute. But again, you do destroy this card unless you send one from your hand to graveyard. That's so like you tribute more over the course of time. So it's a good quick play, but not for long, I guess, is the idea. Interesting card for a zombie deck. And the super rare is going to be another fiend, or not a zombie. It looks like a zombie. When your opponent activates a card effect, it's a quick effect. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then target one level 8 fiend monster in the graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. If a level 8 fiend monster is sent to your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, except during grave set, you can to damage step, you can add this card to your hand once per turn. Okay, it's a lot to take in, but sounds pretty good. Next, another super rare pack? Nope, looks like a normal common thing. Okay, a rare right off the bat. Amazon's Ambassador Bufo. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one attraction trap card in your graveyard and face one face of monster your opponent controls. Equip that trap to your opponent's monster. You can target one of your attraction traps equipped with a monster equipped to one as amazement monster you control, or one face of monster your opponent controls. You can only use this one per turn. The stats are okay, I guess. Familiar Possessed Hiita. You can special summon this card from your hand or deck by sending one face-up Hiita, the Fire Charmer, and one face-up Fire monster you control to the graveyard. If this card is special summoned by its own card effect, attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. Okay, that's really good. Okay. What's next? World Legacy Whispers. Recently heard about the World Legacy archetype. Continuous trap card. When this card is activated, you can target one level 5 or higher monster on the field. It gains 1000 attack or defense until the end of this turn. Negate any opponent's spell effect that activates the same column as Mech Knight monster you control. Yeah, that seems just oddly specific. Guess that's all archetypes are. Simurgh Beast Bird of Ancestry. How many tributes is this? This is 8, so this is the same as Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay. This card is treated as a normal monster while in your hand. Okay. You can tribute, summon, win monster for one less tribute. If you tribute, summon this card by tributing only win monsters, target up to 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. That is really good. I will say that. This could work in a Black Dragon deck, probably. We got a really nice, I like this artwork, Cyclamen the Rika Fairy. It's a plant monster. This doesn't look like a plant to me. You can tribute this card from your hand or face up field, then target up to 2 plant monsters you control. Reduce your level by 2 until the end of this turn. I wonder why you do that. Maybe for XC summoning. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was tributed and sent there this turn, You can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use the effect once per turn. Banish summon setting on the graveyard. Okay, interesting. Earthbound effect is very short. Earthbound immortal monsters cannot be destroyed by their own card effects. That is just the stupidest effect ever. It might as well just be a normal monster, because you wouldn't be dumb enough to destroy your own cards. Or unless I just don't know the archetype. Maybe there's something I just don't know about. Re-X Dinosaur. If this card battles a monster in the extra monster zone, it gains 800 attack and defense during the damage step only. Good for Link monsters that are weak, because that is a lot of attack. That would then be 2,700 attack, which is as much as a 2 tribute. So, and for the final card, it's a rare Galactic Spiral Dragon. This one's a mouthful. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can control 2, and if you control 2 or more light or dark defense dark drag monsters, you can special summon this card in defense position. Let me read that again. This card is in your hand or graveyard, and if you control 2 or more light and dark monsters, that's actually a really good summoning condition. Its attack stats are kind of low though, but the defense is good for what it is. But banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, not a big deal. During your main phase, you can make all monsters you currently control become level 8. Until the end of the turn, you can only use the effect. Okay, that's really good for Xyz summoning. I really like this card. That is a really good card. I'll definitely be using that one in my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. It has some dark cards in it anyways. No supers this one. Evo Price. Once per turn, if a monster is special summoned by the effect of Evil Tile monster. I just saw an Evil Tile before this. That's very interesting. During the damage step, you can target one card in the field and destroy that target. Is this a counter? I'm not sure if this is a counter or like a... If a monster is special summoned by the effect of Evil Tile monster. Oh no, never mind. It's like a chain. Okay, Pendulum Monster. This is the first I see of a Pendulum Monster. The Pendulum Effect. If you have no card in your other Pendulum zone, you can target one face-up card that you control that you can place a spell counter on that, destroy that target. If you do place one spell counter on this card, you can only use the effect once per turn. Each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card. That spell resolves. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card and tribute this card. Special summon one mythical beast effect monster from your deck, except for this mythical blue jackal. Except for itself. Okay, and I don't know. This card with spell counters could work well with a magician deck or something. I saw that previous card that had a spellcaster that did the counter thing. So, and a 4 shard. Pendulum shard. Okay. Cupid Serve. Fairy. Unaffected by the activated effects of monsters except monsters whose level is equal or lower than this card. You can banish up to 3 cards from your graveyard, increase this card's level by that number until the end of this turn. You can only use 1 per turn. Yeah, it's pretty risky. I mean, but again, banishing most decks, I mean, there's some banishing decks, but it could actually help in that case. But other than that, it's a pretty good effect. You know, knowing it hopefully won't be destroyed by battle anyways. Abyssgil of the Kraken equip spell. Equip only to a Merle monster. It gains 400 attack when a monster's effect that was activated on your opponent's side of the field resolves, negate that effect, and then send this card to the graveyard. Negate the activation on the effect that was activated. So is this like a trap, but against 400? So it's like a combination of a negation, like Field Ash Blossom, or I should say Infernal, that Infinite Track or whatever card, and then like a mixture of that and a kunai is this card. Interesting. And again, only a mermail monster. That's such a silly archetype. And this is the first one of these holographic cards I got. Really curious as to what it means. A machine monster. This card looks really interesting. Cannot be special summoned from the deck. Once per turn, you can target one gimmick puppet. I saw that earlier. Monster you control, except this card. This card's level becomes the current level of that monster. Just an Xyz monster for zombies. Oh, sorry, machines. Neo Flamvel Shaman or Shaman. Pyro card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, and if you have 3 or more flammable monsters in your graveyard, target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and then if your opponent has no spells in the graveyard, when this effect is activated, inflict 500 damage to your opponent directly. But again, you have to control 3 or more flammable. Oh no, it's in your graveyard. Target 1, and you banish it, and then your opponent has no spells. Yeah, it's pretty good, but again, your opponent probably has a lot of backset cards during the time, so you gotta have luck. Evening Twilight Nights. A Blackluster Soldier monster, ritual summoned using this card gains these effects. You can only use this effect once per turn. Ritual summoning. Okay, interesting. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster opponent controls, banish it. Once per turn, you can banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's next end phase. If this card is banished from your graveyard, can you choose? I think so. You can add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Oh, this seems like the better one. You can only use the effect once per turn. What is that? Is that a separate effect? I can't tell. I think so. If this card is banished from your graveyard, you can add 1 ritual monster from your deck. So if the moment that this card dies, you can banish it, and then it's a very interesting card for ritual decks. I've seen a lot of good ones of those recently. So let's see. Final card. Broken Bamboo Sword. I've seen this card. The equipped monster gains 0 attack. I saw one in Dabble or Darkwind Blast. It had some extra effects though. Why would you ever want this card? I just don't get that. Maybe some kind of condition. Very confused. Is it like a joke card, baby? This looks like a super rare pack. I guess I'm wrong. Okay. Infernity Patriarch. If this card is in your hand, you can special summon it from your hand. You can special summon Infernity Patriarch once per turn this way. While you have no cards in your hand, if an Infernity monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that card. Symmetry Hydron Hawk. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. Oh wow, this is very interesting. A Gemini. A Gemini. I have never seen a Gemini. What does that mean? Is that a... Because it's a winged beast, but then there's also a Gemini. Does that mean it can be both effect or normal? This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field. When the graveyard was card is normal monster on the field. You can normal summon it to become an effect monster on the field. You can discard 1 card, then target 1 Gemini monster. Okay, it's a Gemini monster. In your graveyard special summon in defense position, you only use this 1 per turn. Okay. I've never seen a card quite like this one, but I like it. A normal monster. It's been a while since I see this. Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Alpha, Beta, Gamma. Oh, I actually know this card from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Switch game. As one of the form a powerful monster. As a fusion. That's a long card effect. Link Turret. When this card is activated, place 4 counters on this card. Each time you take battle damage, place 1 counter on this card. During your main phase 2, you can remove 1 counter from this card, then then target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are also negated. Also, to banish this one leaves the field, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck, except dark monsters at the end of the turn you activate, even this card leaves the field. So, basically, how I understand it, every time you remove a counter, you can still keep on, every time, keep on special summoning a lot of rocky monsters, which I do have a few of. Not in Master Duel though. It's for only 5 times until all the cast counters are away. Rare Assault Sentinel, Beast Warrior effect. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck that specifically lists Assault Mode activate in its text list, except Assault Sentinel. This one also you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Synchros monsters. You can target 1 face-up monster from you control, reveal 1 Synchro monster in your extra deck, and then if you do, the targeted monster type tribute becomes the same as the revealed monsters until the end of this turn. You can only use effect 1 per turn. Okay, Synchro deck Sentinel. Kyoto Waterfront. Isn't Kyoto a city in Japan? Each time a card is in from the field to the graveyard, place 1 Kaiju counter. It's a Kaiju archetype, of course. I should have known. Counter on this card. Send the card max 5. Once per turn, while 3 or more kaiju counters are on this card, you can add 1 kaiju monster from your deck to your hand. If this card would be destroyed by a card effect, you can remove 1 kaiju counter from this card instead. That is really good for kaiju. I can see a lot of kaiju decks manning this. Oh wow, what is like a super like a rare super rare just like came out of nowhere. Okay. A Fiend Pendulum. Pendulum effect, you can target one other spell or trap card on the field, destroy both it and this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, that's like a D-spell. That is like a D-spell and a half, because there's another effect too. And that is, you can distribute this card, then target one monster on the field, destroy it. You can only... Oh, okay, so this is like the ultimate D-spell. I love this card. I'm going to definitely put this in the deck soon. I mean, it is a Fiend. I have to find some other Fiend for it. You can... Anyways, it's like a D-spell where you can destroy either maybe a continuous magic card that's pestering, or maybe any card on the field, any monster on the field. So it's just like a better D-spell slash Lightning Storm. I mean, Lightning Storm's still better, but yeah, I digress. Infernity Breaker rare. If you have no cards in your hand, target one Infernity card in your graveyard and one card in your opponent controls. Banish the first target if you do destroy the second target. Interesting. Again, all for Infernity archetypes, but this card I will definitely be using in the future. Just a really good card for a lot of reasons. Okay, next. I saw one Rainbow, it's probably still upcoming. A holographic Fabled Ms. Toji. Bean Tuner effect. Oh, tuner card. Probably the first we see of that today. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Then target one non-tuner Fable monster you control. That monster is treated as a tuner while face up on the field. Wow, okay. Probably the first Fable monsters I see. I've been curious about what Fables look like anyways, because I have a few Fabled spell and trap cards, but never a Fable monster, so... A Magical Musket Crooked Crown. Continuous trap card. You can only control one Magical Musket Crooked Crown during the main phase. You can special summon one Magical Musket monster from your hand, and if you do, it's an archetype. If you opponent monster controls main monster, that monster currently colonist, and use that monster cannot be used until the end of this turn. Or even if it leaves the field, you can only target once per turn. Okay. Nothing to say about that. When an effect of the opponent's cease monster is activated by detaching its only cease monster, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Jeez, this is a really good card. Because that happens so often that people use a cease. Okay, I'm definitely using this one because, you know, cease monsters are probably the commonest thing used nowadays besides, you know, synchros. And I think that this cease are used way more than fusion, rituals, and link and synchro combined, if that makes any sense. Condemned Maiden Fairy. During your opponent's turn, you can activate one quick play spell from your hand. You only use this once per turn, once per duel. Jeez, okay. I mean, it is a really good effect. It's like an Ash Blossom, but I wonder why. Because you can use Ash Blossom as much as you like per duel, so why is it restricted here? Because it's like a hand trap. Is this a hand trap? No, you have to activate it. During your opponent's control, you can activate one quick play spell from your hand. That doesn't make much sense to me, because why wouldn't you just quick play spell? Why wouldn't you just... Alright, I have many questions. I don't get it though. This card doesn't make sense actually. Must be really good if it's once per duel. Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus. I actually have a Daedalus. I have a Daedalus card in real life. It's a rare. From LED 9. Sea Serpent effect. If this card cannot be normal summon or set. This card cannot be a special summon except by attributing one Leviathan Dragon Daedalus. Hey dude! That's the one I have. Wait, let me get it real quick. I think that's the exact card that I have. The one card that I have is coincidentally the card that I get in Master Duel that's dependent on it. What? Hold on. These are all my black wings. I need to find that card. That is the Leviathan Dragon Daedalus, right? Special. Here it is. Leviathan Dragon Daedalus. That is the card right here. Hold on. That is the exact card right here. I'm gonna put on the camera for this. Hold on. This is the Daedalus right here. The actual Daedalus is right here. The card right here is let me put this right up here. This is the Labaya Dragon Daedalus, which is dependent on this card. Interesting, I get it now. This has to be from LED. Actually, I'll look it right now. What is this card called again? Ocean Dragon Lord. It comes from, doesn't say what set it's from. Let me look at TCG Player. Neo Daedalus is from a structure deck apparently, but it might also be from let me look, LED9. It is an LED9. It just looks different. Different artwork, I think. Okay. Okay, next card. You can do some Umi. I don't know what Umi looks like. I need to find out because so many cards are dependent on it in that archetype. Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of the Nefariousness. Eater of Nefariousness. What the heck is this card? You can only control one Eater of Nefariousness if you control a spellcaster monster. If you can special summon this card from your hand once per turn during your opponent's end phase. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one face-up monster you control and destroy it. And if you do special summon this card instead. Okay. Again, these cards are very random because they come from the entire pool of Yu-Gi-Oh! Special effects. Spellcaster, sorry. Magidog. If this card is sent in the graveyard from your for the synchro summon of a spellcaster type monster, which I have a Vin, so that works well, you can special summon one field spell card from your graveyard to your hand. That's good. It's basically that one laser beam on the planet card redone. Magical Meltdown field spell. When this card is activated, you can add one Elster Invoker from your deck to your hand. The activation of your cards and effects include an effect that fusion monster. A fusion monster cannot be activated. Also, your opponent's cards and effect cannot activate when a monster is fusion summoned this way. You can only activate it once. What? So some fusion thing I don't want to get into. Interesting. Alright, what do we got? It's a super, maybe? I don't know. Nope, this is the rainbow I was talking about. Alright. I'm gonna have a lot of suspense for this one. Blackwing Backlash. What is this in? I didn't get it in. It's obviously not a common in Darkwing Blast, so it's probably got to be super, if anything, in Darkwing Blast. When an opponent monster declares an direct attack, if you have 5 or more Blackwing monsters in your graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Yeah, that's pretty neat, but it takes a while to set up. Realm of Light field spell. Each time a card is sent from your deck to the graveyard, place one shine counter on this card. All Lightstorm monsters gain 100 attack for each shine counter on this card. From your deck to the graveyard. Okay, if this card would be destroyed by a card effect, remove 2 shine counters. So essentially, what I'm getting from this is to prevent the deck thinners from trying to. No more deck thinner cards. Counterplay for that. Abomination's Prison. Add one Unchained card from your deck to your hand. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one Unchained monsters from your deck. You can only use each once per turn. I have Unchained Aria, I think. So, I have 2 of them actually in real life. Infernity Knights. This is the third. It looks like we're building an Infernity archetype because I have found a lot of Infernity cards. I wonder if we can get duplicates in these types back, but we'll see. When this card on the field is destroyed by an sent to the graveyard, you can discard two cards, a special summon card from your graveyard. Why would you do that? When this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can discard 2 cards, special summon this card from the graveyard. I don't see why would you do that because it's a 3-star. So, in very few instances would anybody do that probably. Photon Change, continuous trap card, send this card to the graveyard during your standby phase. After activation, you can only use the effect once per turn. Send this card to the graveyard during your second standby. So basically, you can only use it for 2 turns. Send one Photon or Galaxy monster you control to the graveyard to activate one of these effects of the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can activate both in sequence. If you send Galaxy Eyes OK, you got special summon one Photon monster from the deck with different original name than the monster. Okay, change one Photon card from your deck to your hand. You can special. Okay, I think this is the best one, the special one. Add one Photon card from your deck to your hand, except Photon, change. So they don't want you to chain it and make it link. Fair enough. The Phantom Knight of Fragile Armor. If a face-up the Phantom Knight monster you control is destroyed by battle, in card effects, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you banish this card from your graveyard and send one face card from your hand to graveyard, draw one card. You only use this one per turn. When can you draw a card? When you banish this card. When you banish this card from your graveyard and send one Phantom card from your hand to the graveyard. Yeah, a lot of conditions again, but pretty good. Glacial Beast Iceberg Narwhal. One tuner, one non-tuner water monster. That is pretty high attack, I will say, for a synchro. Each time another monster you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect, inflicts 600 damage to your opponent. During the battle phase, when your opponent activates a card effect while you control another monster, quick effect to negate its attack, and if you do destroy that card, you can only use this once per turn. And for the rainbow, whatever this is, corrupted card, please give me something good. Give me like a X-Max or whatever you want to call that card. What is it? It's a ultra. Oh yeah, it's an ultra rare. It's an Xyz monster. It's probably one of the best things. It's a 4-star C. It's got to be dinosaur. Yeah, that's not happening. Okay, yeah, I'm probably not doing this archetype. Useless ultra rare. When another monster's effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card and negate the activation. You destroy that monster. When this another monster card is activated, you can detach one material from this card and negate the activation. And if you destroy the monster, so that's really good. You can destroy 2 monsters on the field with this card, pretty much. I like that. Really interesting. Well, that seems like that's gonna be the best for this 10. Was it guaranteed super or ultra? I don't remember. Boot up Soldier Dread Dynamo while you control a gadget monster. This card gains 2,000 attack. Alright, fair enough. Dark Paladin. Is this just a Dark Magician and a Blade and a Buster Blader? Is this an original one of those? Huh. Must be fusion summon when a spell card activated effect. You can can't you just summon this from so that means you can't do Monster Reborn on this? I wonder if Monster Reborn would work on this. Because it can't be special summon. I mean, is a fusion summon not a special summon? I'm very curious about that. You can discard one card and get the activation. And if you do, destroy it. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. Gains fire attack for each dragon monster on the field and in the graveyard. What the heck? That is freaking insane. Insane. We got a Bujingo Pavo Winged Beast effect. When a beast warrior type Bujin monster you control is destroyed by battle or is in a graveyard, use this card from your hand to graveyard special summon one Bujin monster from your deck. You only use this one per all types of monsters gain 300 attack in the rest. Jurassic World. Okay, is that a reference? Because that's really what it is. That's so funny. All right, it's hilarious. I just got the last ultra rare guy. This dinosaur type. The Weather Cloudy Canvas. Continuous spell. The weather effect monster in your main monsters in this card's column. And the adjacent column, you can banish this card. Then target one face of monster on the field. Except during damage step, have its current attack for the rest of the turn, and be cannot attack directly this turn. You can only activate one Gavage per turn. Okay. Fusion of Fire. This card is really a Soundmine. Great card. Fusion summon one Soundmine great fusion monster from your deck using monsters from your hand or any from your as always. You only have, so basically just a fusion spell, but a D spell. Why would you just? I mean, there's that one added benefit to make you not use a polymerization. Lyra Soul, Burl Cannery, Winged Beast effect. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Lyra Soul monster in your graveyard, special summon this card and that monster. And you can not special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn except Xyz monster. You can only use effect once per turn when Xyz monster was summoned using this card. And material you can affect this card gets 2 attack. Also gonna knock switch. I'm very confused as to what this card is meant to use for. Iron Hands. If this card is special summon, you can special summon one Iron Knight from your deck. Also, if Golden Castle of Stromberg is not a field zone when this card is active, you can now special summon this card from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. You can special summon monsters from the extra deck for so that's pretty okay. You can only activate the Iron Hands one turn. Gains 1,000 attack for each Iron deck you control, while Golden Castle of Stromberg is in your effect. Okay. I could see this card becoming very strong with that effect. I mean, it is pretty specific, but at the same time, a lot of potential. And for the final one, it looks like it's a golden rainbow crazy thing. You got a Utopia. Is this like the best thing? Is this the guaranteed UR? I have no idea. Secure Gardener. One Cyber Slink monster after this card is special summoned. You take no effect damage for the rest of the turn, except, once per turn you would take battle damage. You take no damage, cannot be used as link material. You can only control one. Secure Gardener. I wonder why. You take no damage once per turn that you would take. Oh, so you wouldn't. Yeah, I kind of see it, but at the same time, the card seems so negligible. Dude, I literally played this card already in some kind of deck. If this card is used as material for link summon, yeah, once per duel, you can target one. I actually know what this card does. I'll read it though. This was used material link summon. Special summon in defense position, you'll use once per deck. Once per duel. I don't see that often, but it's the third time I see that once per duel text. Liberty at Last. When a monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, target two face-up monsters in the field. Shuffle those targets into the deck. Target two face-up monsters on the field. Shuffle those. You can do some serious damage with that. That is really good. I like this card. Very applicable. Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. Fairy. Each time a counter trap is activated immediately after it resolves gains, this card gains 500 attack, and if it does, and the sanctuary save is on the field, add one counter trap with doing the name from the graveyard to your hand. Again, counter traps are don't see very much play, so don't think this card sees too much use. Is this the big card? Another ultra rare, but it's a fusion, so I don't really care. That's the worst. That's even worse than the last one. One edge monster and one fluffle monster. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls. Send it to the graveyard, and this card cannot attack directly. The turn is graveyard. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, in battle phase, this card battle, you can change its defense position. Okay. Two Melodious monsters. Scaburtia, the Melodious Maestra. During each play turn, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyard, banish them, and if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each. The effect on the field can only be used while this card is face up on the field. Melodious monsters. A Melodious archetype. I've never heard of it. We got a Bujingri Hair. During either player's turn, you can manage this card from your graveyard. Then targets as a quick effect one Beast Warrior type Bujin monster you control. During this turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. You only use once per turn. You cannot be. Wait, what does it do again? Once per turn, you manage the card, then target one monster you control during the turn. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. That's pretty fair. I like that. Super rare. Chevalier de Fleur. Some French name. Sure, we got a Fleur Synchron and one non-tuna monster. Once per turn, during your turn, when your opponent activates the spell trap card, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Wow, okay, hold on. Activate dude, that's like so universal. That's amazing. That's really good. I found a new card pack. And of course, the Ash Blossom and Joy of Spirits. Add a card from the deck to your hand. When a card or card effect is activated that includes any quick effects, you can discard this card, negate the effect. Add a card from the deck to the hand. Special summon from the deck. Send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can just negate it. That is really good. Okay, this is my total haul. Secret card packs include. Do you want to go to left? You'll not be able to return to this screen. Cancel. Okay. Interested about some of these holographic cards. Not sure what it means, but pretty bad for the ultra rare selection. Don't like that at all. The odds by rarity. Ultra rare 2.50%. Jeez, 7.50%. For supers, rares 35%, normals. There's freaking 803 ultra rares in this game. That's crazy. Times 3 is 2400. That's crazy. Alright, looks like we'll go with the Lightning Storm next. Or maybe the Infinite Track. Infinite Imperman. Lightning Storm. Again, all the Master Duel. They're from any random set. But let me see what the architects I got. Interesting archetype. And then this one. Yeah. I'm not terribly interested in this. Edge Imp. Hold the line. This one does a way better job. Is there dinosaurs in here? This is a dragon. These are mainly dragons. So I'm not really interested in that one. We're gonna go with the Lightning Storm. Let's see how long this is going on for. Alright. Let's do it. Lightning Storm time. We got 2 ultra rares, baby. That's good, right? We're gonna start with the ultra rare. Let's start it big. And a super rare too. Nice. Sign that crossword. Tribute 1 Cerberus monster, then target 1 card in the field. Destroy it. That is amazing. I have a Cybers deck that works perfectly. Vendread Knights. You can discard 1 card. Add 1 Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect when there's 1 per turn. You can add. Well, when your Vendread monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish 1 Vendread monster from your graveyard. You can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. Field. Chaos Infinity. Chase up any defense monster position on the field as possible into attack position, then special summon 1 Mechlord monster from your deck or graveyard, but its effects are going to be able to destroy during the end phase. Okay, Mechlord archetype. What does that mean? It's a Link 3 normal monster. Sorry, Link monster. At the start of your battle phase, you can activate this effect during the battle phase. This card can make attacks on your opponent's monster up to the number of monsters this card currently points to +1. But this turn, when it attacks your opponent's monster, this card loses 400 attack during damage calculation only. But at the end of each battle phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters this card destroyed by battle this turn. That is good. Super Hippo Carnival. Special summon 1 performable hippo from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then you can special summon as many hippo tokens, beast type, are level 1, can defense 0, attack 0 as possible. They cannot be tributed, and monsters you control cannot target monsters for attacks in your turn except hippo tokens. Now special summon monsters from the extra deck while hippo tokens is in a monster zone. Why would you want to do that then? Just much better use Scapegoats, well, they can't be tributed either. Something else. Double super rare. What the heck? Kitchen Dragon Maid. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one Dragon Maid monster from your deck to your hand, except Kitchen Dragon Maid, and use it one Dragon Maid monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard and start a battle phase. You can return this card in the hand. If you do special summon one level 8 Dragon Maid from monster from your hand or graveyard, you can only do one Dragon Maid swap per turn. Alright. I saw this card in the structure deck. Pretty neat. Dragon Maid, probably the one. Gookie. Oh, the Gookie. I should say Goki. Goki is another archetype. Got an archetype key for that. Cannot be destroyed by battle and is unaffected by activated effects of your opponent's card with attack less than or equal to this card. When your opponent activates a card effect larger that targets this card or an aura monster this card points to, you can make this card attack exactly 500 attack, and if you do, negate the activation once per turn. This current attack different from its original attack. You can make this card gain 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Interesting. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Interesting. And for the super rare or the ultra rare, come on, give me something good. Give me an Xyz. A 4-star mystical elf, white lining with the blue eyes white dragon there. LOB monster, mystical elf. Interesting. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, while you control level 5 or higher normal monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do negate that effect, during your opponent's battle phase, you can target one normal monster in either graveyard, special summon it to your field, and if you do, all monsters your opponent controls must attack that monster's turn. If able, while you control it, you can only use just one per turn. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem... I mean, it is an ultra rare, but again, unusable. Behold, let me read it again. During your post battle phase, you can target one normal monster in either graveyard. Special summon to your field. It can be from either graveyard. So like Monster Reborn 2.0. While I control level 5. Yeah, so if I control a blue eyes white dragon, I'm basically good. Yeah. I'll put that in my blue eyes white dragon deck. Did I skip on accident? Whoops. Well, at least I got a lot of ultra rares, relatively. Mysterion on the Dragon Crown. One spellcaster and one dragon monster. Cannot be used as fusion material. This card loses 1,100 attack for each banished cards. If a monster is activated, and the spell monsters or banished cards, the monster is activated and the spell monster itself, or monsters with the same attack. You can target one spell monster, banish that monster, banish and all the field design type. You can only use the effect on one turn. Ghost Trick, so cute, boss. Any two level monsters. Finally, Xyz monster I can actually use. Not control another ghost monster. When your most monster cannot target this card for attack once per turn. That's one material from this card with attack less than equal to the monster of all the Ghost Trick monsters. The field destroyed. And if you do, a monster cannot belong to Ghost Trick monster. What is this? What is Exodia doing here? I think my friend has this card. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned coming from your hand by triggering one forbidden monster, and it cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card gains 1,000 attack for each forbidden monster in your graveyard, unaffected by your card effect once per turn. You add one forbidden monster from your graveyard. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can reveal any number of forbidden monsters in your hand if you do draw one card. Jeez, that is really good. That's really good for forbidden decks. Doom Caliber Knights cannot be special summoned as my tribute this card for any get destroy the card. If a monster is activated, you tribute this face-up card and negate the activation. Okay. There are just so many cards here. Do I read them all? Volcasaurus, 2 level 5 monster. It has 1 Xyz monster from this card. Then 2 level 5, so actually viable. Then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. This card cannot attack directly during that turn. Okay. The heck is this guy? You can banish this card from your graveyard. All face-up level monsters gain 400 attack. What is this? It's a beast warrior? Doesn't look like it to me. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then target one blue and white monster you control against 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one blue and white monster from your hand. You can only use this one. Okay. Jack's Knight. It's a normal monster. An elemental hero Avian. I've seen this card. And it's a normal monster. It is a warrior though. Pride of Plunder Patrol. Continuous trap. If your Plunder Patrol monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw one card you control a Plunder monster. You can send this card face up to your field or graveyard. You can activate cards. If your opponent draws one card, you look at a hand, send one monster from the graveyard, and look at your opponent's extra deck and send one monster to the graveyard. You can use Pride Patrol. When? If you control Pride Patrol, Plunder Patrol monster. It's alright for the archetype. Dogmatica Encounter. Activate one of the effects, special summon one Dogmatica monster or Fallen the Albaz from your hand. Dogmatica is pretty good archetype. I've seen it. I've been beaten about it before. Add to your hand or special summon one Dogmatica monster from Fallen Albaz from your graveyard. You can only add this once per turn. Machine Overdrive. Target one machine monster you control, special summon one machine Machina monster you with a different name from your hand or deck. Hold on. Cannot be special summoned. Cannot be normal summoned. Can only be special summoned by. What about Machina Reborn or whatever? That's a 12-star. We have to banish. I don't think you can summon that. That's too OP. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target 3 of your Machina monsters that have been banished. Enter your graveyard, shuffle them into your deck, and you can draw one card. So the only way I would see viable the Machina Reborn or Revol, whatever you want to call it, is if this was a graveyard trap card, or you had something like that could put tons of Machinas to graveyard. Excease Revive Splash. Target one rank 4 or lower Excease monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Its attribute becomes water. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one water Excease monster you control. Special summon it from your extra deck. One water Excease monster that one rank is higher than you. Monster you control using as material. This card is treated as Excease monster, which transfers materials to summon monster. You can only use one Excease monster for the turn, and it's only once per that turn. I wonder why they specify that, but. World Legacy Struggle. Target spellcraft card in the field up to the number of co-link monsters in the field and destroy them. Only viable in link decks that co-link most likely. And interestingly enough, I did get a duplicate Infernity Paranoia. Tribute one dark monster special summon one Infernity monster from your deck or graveyard with the same level but a different name and negate its effect during your main phase. Except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Infernity monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and you can do that once per turn. Pretty good, actually, I will admit. And this card, have I seen it before? Is this the second one I get for Cybers? If so, not bad. Evil Eye Awakening. I've seen Evil Eye Retribution, but where's the Evil Eye monster? Special summon one Evil Eye monster from your hand or graveyard, or if Evil Eye of Silence is in your spell and trap card zone, you can special summon one Evil Eye monster from your deck instead. You can only activate once per. Normal, I've seen this before. Okay. Field spell. If a Psy-Frame monster is special summoned to your side after the field, except for your time, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, synchro summon one synchro monster using the Psy-Frame monster you control. At the start of the battle damage save, if some monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can discard one Psy-Frame monster. Your battling monster gains attack equal to discard monster attack until the end of this turn. Mind Politics. Discard one monster to target one monster of the level your opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end phase. Discard one monster to target one monster field of the level your opponent controls. What? I have to see how that is in battle. Did I get a duplicate of this card? No, I didn't. Here's a Despine card. I've seen the Despine Fusion. When your opponent activates a card or card effect that targets a face-up Despia card you control, quick effect, you can discard this card, negate that effect. If this card's in your graveyard, you contribute one fusion monster, special summon this card. You can only use the spine. Why would you do that unless fusion? The only one I know is the. I had it over here earlier. Let me see what it is. Despian Proskenion. which requires a Spy monster, a Light monster, and a Dark monster. So hopefully there's a weaker Spine monster. There's a Dark monster of any variety and a Light monster, so Dark and Light, and then a Spine. Kind of symbolizing that it's everything. What else do we got? Yeah, I've seen this one. I forget half what it is. So Dark Lord Nurgle. If your fairy monster attacks, this is not a fairy. This is a zombie. What is he talking about? This is a fairy. If your fairy monster battles a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. You can pay 1,000 life and then target one Dark Lord spell trap in your graveyard. Apply that. This is an 8-star 2 tribute. Apply that target's effect. Then shuffle the target into your deck. You can only use this once per turn. You can special summon one Dark Lord Nurgle once per turn. When can you do that? I'm not entirely sure. It's too complicated. Flying Sea. What happened to the Max Sea? When your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand to the opponent's field in defense position. The controller of this card cannot exceed summon. Now that is a good card. Especially if you know if you're going up against an Xyz deck. We have Karakuri Ninja MDL7749 Nanashik. This is a machine monster, and this card must attack if able. Wow. I've never seen that effect. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, changes battle position. When this card is normal summoned, you can draw a number of cards equal to the number of defense position Karakuri monsters that you control. I don't know, that seems like a risky card to me. I don't like it. Maybe for early game it's okay. Fairy. When this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card for each equipped spell that was equipped to this card. Interesting effect. Haven't really seen it. A Laval Warrior. Hold on. This is a Laval as well. You can banish the card from your graveyard. Off his monster, you can go. So this one would gain 400 attack from this. What I was looking at earlier. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle effect, or by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. You must have 4 more Laval monsters with different names in your graveyard to activate and to resolve this effect. Yeah, I knew there was a catch to that. Yeah, that was too good to be true. Free direct damage, yeah, as if. Looks like Amazonists were around for longer than I thought. Jeez, I can't speak. Select one face of monster your opponent controls during each standby phase to lose a fire attack until the end of his turn. Have it in defense position, face up, but if you special summon it with maybe a pendulum summon, and you're good to go. How much is an Amazon's Blowpiper? Because that is pretty good. That is pretty dang good. Select one face of monster during each standby phase, it loses 5 attack until the end of his turn. Oh, it's only for that one turn. Yeah, it's not as good as I thought. Okay. Elemental Hero Captain Gold. Another Elemental Hero. You can discard this card to the graveyard. Add one Skyscraper from your deck to your hand. If the Skyscraper is not face up on the field, destroy this card. Interesting. I've looked at all this. We have Dryton Meteor Shower. It is a counter trap. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, while you control a ritual monster, negate the summon, and if you do, shuffle that monster into the deck. You can only do that once per turn. If it's a normal or special summon in a monster while you control a ritual. So yeah, in a ritual deck it makes sense. Sure. High Five, this guy. Normal trap. During your battle phase, you target one face-up Xyz monster that is attacked this turn. You can make a second attack during the battle phase. If it does so, using this effect, your opponent cannot activate card effects until the end of the damage step. Interesting. I will say that much. What the heck is this? Did I just get the Blue Eyes White Dragon 2.0? Interesting. We have Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon. Malefic, huh? What does that mean? Probably like good. Causing or capable of causing harm. Okay, so harmful Blue Eyes White Dragon. Cannot be normal summon or special set. Sorry, normal summon or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one blue-eyes dragon from your deck. There can only be one melee dragon on the field. Malefic dragon. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack if there is no face-up field spell on the field. Destroy this card. So how I see it is you gotta get a field spell in your hand. You set it down like a ritual. Okay, like a fusion. All right. Then you sacrifice blue eyes from your deck, and then you can immediately, by banishing that blue eyes, you can special summon this card immediately. Not bad. I actually like this card quite a bit. Indeed. Guardians of the Golden Land. I saw this one. This is too complicated. Black Horn of the Heaven. Counter trap when your opponent would normal summon, special summon exactly one monster to get these special summon. If you do, destroy it. That is a card I want to be using. Nice. Memory Loss Trap card. Normal. When an effect of an attack position monster your opponent controls is activated, negate the effect, and if you do, change that monster to face-up defense position. Pretty good card, not gonna lie. Blaze Cannon spell, quick spell card, trap card. No, sorry, spell magic card. I can't speak. This card is always treated as a Blaze Accelerator card. 1. The Winged Gold Dragon of Ra, an Egyptian god card you control, gains the following effects until the end of turn. This card's activation cannot be. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. This card is unaffected by your opponent's card effect. When an attack is declared involving this card, you contribute any number of other monsters that did not declare attack this turn. This card gains attack equal to attributed monster combined attack during the end of this turn. After damage calculation, this card is attacked. You can send all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. Quick play spell. You can do this during your opponent's turn. Interesting. I'm not gonna read all of it again. Danger, Excitement, Mystery. I have not seen a danger monster yet. Still waiting to see that. Discard 1 level 5 or higher non-existent danger monster. Add 1 level 4 monster danger monster from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. After this card, you can only accept danger monsters you can only activate on this turn. Okay. Will of Salamangreat, continuous spell. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. You can send 1 phase of monster from the field to graveyard, then target 1 Salamangreat link monster you control that was linked summoned using a monster with the same name as the material. Special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. Special summon that's the same monster's link rating. You can only use 1 Salamangreat per turn. You can only add once per turn. Why did they specify only once per turn? Celestial Sphealitos as an equip spell. This card is always raised as an alarms card. When this card, the equipped monster gains 500 attack. When this card is set to the graveyard, you can. Is this a field? Okay. You could target 1 Guardian Eatos you control. It gains 500 attack for each banished monster. What the heck? Banished deck much? A Bujin Unity. I've seen some Bujin cards, so if you control no other cards and have at least 1 other card in your hand, shuffle all Beast Warrior Bujin monsters from your card and graveyard to your deck, minimum 1. If you do, you send your entire hand to the graveyard, minimum 1, and add up to 3 Beast Warrior type Bujin monsters from cards from your deck to your hand. You can only use. That is a really good card for Bujin Warriors. Too bad I don't have any. And I got 2 of those. Wow. The Shallow Grave. Each player targets 1 monster in their own graveyard. Each player special summons the target from the graveyard and defends that position. Interesting. I like that card. Another Pendulum monster. Abyss Curtain Razor. The pendulum effect is if you control a monster, you can special summon this card from your own pendulum zone. You can only use the effect once per turn. Once per duel, even. Jeez. If you control a monster, you can special summon this card from your pendulum zone. Wow. So like a blocker. Gains 1001 attack if you control no other monsters. Once per turn, you can send 1 Abyss Script spell from your hand deck to the graveyard and 1 face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster. I love Pendulum monsters, honestly. Dude, I have this card in real life. That's crazy. If this card is in your hand, you can discard up to 2 monsters except Fable Mercosia and cling another Fable monster. And if you do special summon this card, if summoned away, this card gains 200 attack for each monster discarded and discard. If this card is discarded to the graveyard, add 1 Fable spell trap card from your deck to the hand. You can only use 1 phase 1 per turn. Jeez, this is a lot to read. File a messenger for hire. I see what you did there. Nice pun, bro. During your main phase, you can special summon a monster for hire from your hand, except for a monster for hire. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control a monster accepting damage step, you can target one monster for hire in your graveyard, special summon in a defense position, but place it on the bottom of your deck. If it leaves the field, you can only activate the following monsters for hire once per turn. File messenger for hire once. Okay. XX Saber Full Helm Knights. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster and negate that attack. The effect can only be used once the guard is face up on the field. You can, if this guard destroys, and if opponent's defensive monster, you can target one level 4 monster. Saber from a special summon. Alright, cool. Polygamic Critter Diogogr. It's another Gemini monster. It's not like a Cybers. It's effect. No. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can special summon adapt to the monster on the field. While the normal monster and Gemini monster come in and once per turn, you can banish one Gemini monster from the graveyard, then target one monster from the field and destroy it. Raid Raptor, Necro Vulture, Wing Piece effect. Once per turn, you contribute one Raid Raptor monster and then target one rank up Magician spell card from your graveyard added to the card, and you will succeed the monster for the rest of the turn except the monster Mozarta, the Melodious Maestra. Once per turn, special one life for a monster for time in your hand. You can also special summon monster except for life monsters. I already read that card, anyways. Okay, what else do we got? I mean, I looked through pretty much everything on the bottom here. I didn't skip anything I didn't think. All the Dogmatica. I didn't read this card. Dreamir Oneiromancy. I need to look that word up. Apparently it means the interpretation of dreams in order to foretell the future. As if. Counter Trap. Activate one of these effects. When your opponent activates a spell trap card while a Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, to get the activation. And if you do, destroy that card. When your opponent would special summon monsters while a Dream Mirror of Terror is in your field zone, negate the summon. And if you do, destroy that monster. You only once per turn. Okay, pretty good counter traps, I will say. Counter effects for the counter trap. Interesting. Now what else do we got? The Hazy Flame Manticore. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can send one fire monster, except this card from your hand, or face up cards from your side to the field, to the graveyard, or for the field. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. Interesting. Well, the Laval Wars we're talking about. This one, I like the Laval set. Interesting. Oh, very interesting. The Return of the Normal. When exactly one monster is normal, special summon face up, except during your damage step, destroy all monsters on the field with less attack than that monster. You can only activate that once per turn. Now, what's interesting to me is that it's normal or special summon face up. What's normal about that if it's a special? Destroy all monsters on the field with less attack. That's weird. Dogmatic Calamity. I think we've seen this one already. Vendread Knights. You can discard one card, add one Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. And when your Vendread monster destroys a monster, you can banish one Vendread monster from your deck. It can attack. Yeah, I've already seen this card. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah, seen pretty much everything here. A Raid Raptor. DD Seeker. You can target one face-up monster you control, banish and then face in. Yeah. Seen that one. Whoops. Well, no, I didn't really look at the that is the second one of that. I will look through the cards that I just achieved. That is the ultra rare variants. We'll sort that based off of ultra rares. And here they are. 5-headed dragon. 5 dragon monsters. That's in the actual deck. A Galaxy Dragon, Photon Dragon. The Galaxy Photon Dragon. If this card battles during damage calculation, you can attach one material from this card once per battle. This card gains 5 attack equal to the combined currently on the field times 200 during the damage calculation. Only if this card is in the owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's. And while it has 4,000 attack, what the heck? Is this really 2 level 8 monster? Jesus. You can special summon this card after your second standby phase after its activation, double attack and damage this card inflicts them down. It's just insane. That is just insane. It says for Photon Dragons. I can make a photon deck. Interesting. Again, I want to see based on the ultra rares. The ultra rarity. Forbidden. Where are you? Down. Where can I search owned? Doesn't let me search owned. Here's the dual Asimburm worm. Why do I have 2 of these? What? Cannot dismantle. What deck is this in? The Ash Blossom. Can I dismantle this? Doesn't let me dismantle for some reason. I wonder why. That one makes sense though. Yeah, why is it letting me dismantle some of these, but not others? I would never dismantle my Photon Dragon. Might this Dolka, ultra rare Rastalagger. I don't know how I even got half these cards. Raigeki. Only have 2 of these. That is better than Lightning Storm. What the heck? No wonder this is limited. Yeah, Lightning Storm has no limit on it. A lot of ultra rares. Okay. Alright. That's probably gonna glue it. I can't even play this game anymore. It's crazy. It's already 12 a.m. I'm probably gonna call it a day. Jesus. Let me just check what's up in the gift box. Can I claim this other one? No, 1,800. All right. That's gonna do it for me. See you guys.